Welcome everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to this presentation. Today we will explore the uniqueness of the Quran. We'll discuss what makes the Quran stand out, its profound qualities, and its significance. Over the next few slides, we'll delve into its divine features and cultural impact. Let's get started and discover what truly makes the Quran unique. Today, I want to talk about the meaning and significance of the Quran. The word Quran literally means reading or reciting, and it's derived from the Arabic word qara'a, which also means to read. Historically, the term has been used specifically to refer to the book that was revealed by Allah to Prophet Muhammad. In the Quran itself, Allah refers to it as guidance, emphasizing its importance for believers. For example, in Quran 17:9, Allah says, "Indeed, this Quran guides to that which is most suitable and gives good tidings to the believers who do righteous deeds that they will have a great reward." Allah has also given the Quran other names, such as Furqan, meaning the criterion, and Dhikr, meaning remembrance. These names highlight different aspects of the Quran's role in guiding and reminding us of our purpose. From a technical perspective, the Quran is defined as Allah's words revealed in Arabic, delivered in a rhythmic, melodious form to Prophet Muhammad. Its recitation is considered an act of worship, and everything within it is believed to be miraculous in nature. This definition sets the Quran apart from other sources of Islamic teachings, like Hadith, which are the sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, and Hadith Qudsi, where Prophet Muhammad attributes certain statements directly to Allah. So, in essence, the Quran is not just a book, but a divine revelation that guides us, inspires us, and connects us to Allah through its miraculous words and message. Let's take a closer look at what makes the Quran truly unique. Unlike most books that start with an introduction, introduce characters, and follow a chronological order of historical events, the Quran does not follow this conventional structure. This is because it is not an ordinary book. Its method of presenting information is quite distinct, and its themes revolve around the relationship between man and his creator, himself, and the rest of creation. The Quran contains a wealth of knowledge, covering history, philosophy, science, and social laws, all aimed at guiding us toward total submission to Allah and righteous deeds. These laws and teachings are meant to encourage us to treat ourselves and others justly, as Allah has commanded. This unique pattern of presenting information makes the Quran stand out as a one-of-a-kind book. Some newcomers might feel the arguments and topics seem scattered or disorganized at first glance, but in reality, the structure is purposeful and deeply meaningful. Its organization is designed to guide us toward understanding our purpose and our relationship with Allah and His creation, making the Quran genuinely a special and profound book. Let's explore what makes the Quran truly unique and easy to understand when we keep certain points in mind. First, there is no other book in the world quite like the Quran. It has a very distinctive literary style, which sets it apart from all other writings. Its themes are also unique, recurring in a way that emphasizes their importance. When we approach the Quran, we shouldn't judge it by the usual standards we use for other books. Instead, understanding its structure helps us organize the information in our minds more clearly. This special organization makes the message more accessible and meaningful. Another key point is that the Quran is a literary miracle. Its style amazes even the Arabs of that time, who were renowned for their eloquence and mastery of language. This is a significant aspect because it highlights the miracle of the Quran's language and style. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself said that all prophets were given miracles to help people believe in them. For him, the greatest miracle was the Quran, divine revelation itself. He expressed hope that, because of this, he would have many followers on the Day of Judgment. So, by understanding these points, the Quran's uniqueness, its literary style, and its divine nature, we gain a deeper appreciation of its role and significance within the broader theme of divine guidance and miracle. Let's delve into the concept that the Quran is inimitable. Due to its miraculous nature, no human or group of humans has been able to produce anything similar to it. The evidence for this is found in 3 distinct challenges that Allah presents within the Quran itself, challenges directed specifically at the Arabs of that time, who were renowned for their eloquence and literary prowess. First, Allah challenges everyone, mankind and jinn alike, to produce something like the Quran. He says, "Say, if mankind and the jinn gathered in order to produce the like of this Quran, they could not produce the like of it, even if they were to each other assistants." This is from Surah 17, verse 88. What this means is that Allah is asserting the incomparable nature of the Quran, emphasizing that no matter how united or how capable, all of creation combined cannot replicate its eloquence or divine message. Later on, Allah further challenges the disbelievers by saying, "Or do they say, He invented it? Say, then bring 10 surahs like it that have been invented and call upon for assistance, whomever you can besides Allah, if you should be truthful." This is from Surah 11, verse 13. This second challenge pushes even further, asking them to produce 10 surahs comparable to the Quran, which they claim was fabricated by the Prophet. But Allah makes it clear that such a feat is impossible, reaffirming the divine origin of the Quran. These challenges serve to underscore the unique, miraculous quality of the Quran, and why it remains inimitable to this day. They also connect back to our overall theme of understanding the divine nature of the Quran and its unmatched status in human history. Let's look at the challenge Allah posed after the initial difficulty of producing 10 verses. He says, "And if you are in doubt about what we have sent down upon our servant Muhammad, then produce a surah the like thereof and call upon your witnesses other than Allah, if you should be truthful." This is from the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 23. The most remarkable thing here is that Allah is challenging them to produce even a single surah similar to those of the Quran, which is considered the most eloquent and profound form of speech. Interestingly, the shortest surah in the Quran is Surah Al-Kawthar, which is less than 3 lines long. Yet, despite their literary prowess, the disbelievers could not produce anything comparable to even that short surah. This inability was not just about words. It was a reflection of the message's divine origin. The leaders of Quraysh saw Prophet Muhammad's message as a threat, socially, economically, and politically, and they responded with hostility. They attempted to silence him and his followers, which led to violence and the death of many Muslims and even some disbelievers, including prominent figures like Abu Jahl. They could have stopped this bloodshed if they had succeeded in producing a surah similar to those in the Quran. But all their efforts failed. This failure was so complete that it ultimately pushed them towards war, as documented in Islamic history and seerah books. Many others have tried since then to meet this challenge, to mimic the Quran's style or message. But when experts examine their work, it's clear that none of these attempts come close. This is a testament to the Quran's inimitability and its unique, divine nature. So this challenge isn't just about poetry or language. It's a proof of the Quran's divine origin and its unmatched status in the history of human speech. Let's look at the accuracy in describing historical events in the Quran. There are many incidents and narrations that demonstrate its miraculous nature. One notable example is the story of Prophet Yusuf, or Joseph, as told in the Quran. In this story, the ruler of Egypt during Yusuf's time is called Al-Malik, which means the king in Arabic, and is mentioned in Quran 12:50. Now compare this to the Bible, where the same ruler is called Pharaoh. The interesting part is that in history, the title Pharaoh was used for Egyptian rulers starting from the reign of Amenhotep IV, over 200 years after Yusuf's time. So, Yusuf lived well before the Egyptians adopted the title Pharaoh. This means that calling an earlier ruler Pharaoh is historically inaccurate, since non-Egyptian rulers of that era did not use that title. This discrepancy highlights how the Bible's account may be distorted, while the Quran accurately uses terms that fit the historical timeline. It's a powerful example of how the Quran speaks about past events with precise historical detail, reinforcing its miraculous nature. Now, moving on to the Quran's ability to predict the future. One remarkable example is its prophecy about the victory of the Romans over the Persians. The Quran predicted this event with surprising accuracy, even though it was a distant future event at the time. Allah mentioned in the Quran that the Romans would overcome the Persians after a period of defeat. This kind of precise prediction shows the Quran's divine knowledge and its ability to reveal future occurrences, which is another aspect of its miraculous nature. These examples, both in history and prophecy, help us understand the extraordinary nature of the Quran and its unique place in guiding and illuminating human history and future. The Byzantines, who were the Roman Empire in the East, faced a significant defeat in their land, but this setback was not the end. In fact, after their defeat, there was a prophecy that they would eventually overcome their enemies. This was indicated in the Quran, specifically in the verse that states that within 3 to 9 years, the Byzantines would gain victory. This prophecy was revealed after the Romans had been defeated by the Persians in 616 CE. Interestingly, about 6 years later, in 622 CE, the Romans did indeed defeat the Persians, fulfilling that divine promise. It's a powerful reminder of how Allah's words are always fulfilled in their appointed time. Now, this isn't just about the Byzantines. Allah also mentioned in the Quran that Muslims would eventually triumph over the pagans of Mecca, and that believers, through their righteousness and patience, would become rulers of the world. This was during a time when Muslims were still at war with those pagans, yet Allah's promise was clear. And history shows that after many battles and struggles, Muslims entered Mecca victorious, and they continued their conquests, reaching lands like Syria and Persia. This is a direct fulfillment of Allah's promise that the believers would become rulers and conquer lands, demonstrating His support for those who trust in Him and remain steadfast. When we talk about the miracles of the Quran, it's important to recognize that the scope is truly vast. If we were to try and cover all of them, especially the miracles related to Usul al-Tafsir, it would become an extensive, detailed work, far from concise. So, what I've shared here are just a few examples of the historical miracles, to give you a glimpse of the incredible nature of the Quran. But the miracles don't stop there. They also extend into scientific realms, topics like oceanography, geology, cosmogony, physics, embryology, etymology, hydrology, and many more. In fact, there's a well-known book by Maurice Bucaille called The Quran and Modern Science, which explores these fascinating connections in depth. What's truly remarkable is how these scientific insights align with modern discoveries, reinforcing the idea that the Quran contains knowledge beyond human capacity at the time of its revelation. This diversity of miracles, historical and scientific, underscores the profound and timeless nature of the Quran, which is central to understanding its divine origin. Let's discuss the idea of contradictions in the Quran and how it has been approached. Many people have attempted to find contradictions within the Quran, but their efforts have generally been unsuccessful. This is because Allah Himself affirms the divine origin of the Quran by highlighting that disbelievers cannot find any contradictions in it. Now, some critics have pointed to what they see as contradictions regarding the creation of man. They notice that the Quran mentions different elements, such as a clot of blood, water, dust, burned clay, and others, as part of the creation process. But it's important to understand that these references are not conflicting. Rather, they describe different stages or aspects of creation. For example, Allah mentions that water was mixed with dust to form clay, which was then used to create Adam. Later, the process of human development involves mixing male and female seminal fluids, which initially form a clot of blood, and over time, this clot develops into flesh. So these descriptions are interconnected and refer to different phases of human creation, not contradictions. This understanding aligns perfectly with the verse in the Quran that says, "Then do they not reflect upon the Quran? If it had been from any other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradiction." Quran 4:82. It encourages us to reflect deeply and see how these details fit together in a coherent, divine message.